Testing. Microphone. Check. Testing. 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 Okay. We start here in New South Wales, Australia. Or talk about what's in front of us. Might as well go back a day. We can see this wildfire take hold. Zoom in a little bit more there. Should be starting right about here. And it's gonna be a giant plume of smoke, and that smoke is gonna feed a smoke bag all night. Then come daylight, that sun starts moving things around. Because smoke won't move. It does not have to. Smoke transits. It will follow other smoke. It will lead us way to different places, but smoke by itself isn't going anywhere. What we see today is smoke that got pretty high up. It's just constantly feeding. It just rises. I push play here. You can see the wildfire right here. Smoke plume eating the air for several hundreds of feet or several hundred kilometers. Now we go back to last slide. These are 10-minute intervals, these satellite images. And we see this little fire's work. We see it's here. And also, this is the higher up smoke that got the highest before things started moving around more. Just stretches. And this is the height. And there's still smoke over here. Over here. A lot of smoke that's over New South Wales, but it's heading out to the coast. As you can see here, we can go back an hour or two. Push play. The smoke is rapidly tightening up, and it is headed out to sea. Son of a bitch. I dropped my mic. Where is my camera at? There we go. Microphone check. There we go. Okay, so we played that for a little bit on a loop. This is current smoke that we're looking at. If there's a wildfire present that's been there since yesterday, we probably have a good chance of catching it on Sentinel Hub or Sentinel 2 imaging. I'm not seeing anything else besides down here, over here in the northeastern section of New South Wales. So this smoke is way too high to be considered, causing breathing problems around people. This is hundreds of feet up. I would never trust Australia and their lack of safety when it comes to, because I mean, ever since Black Summer, it should have been air quality stations every few miles, or even let people in buildings volunteer to have one hosted and put that data online, public facing. Because after this fire season, I don't know how Australians, besides seeing smoke, would be able to plan ahead. Because if they're going for a hike in Northern Territory and there's wildfire burning a few miles from them, that smoke's coming at them fast. And that's the kind of world we live in, that you got to plan ahead for the smoke. It's if this amount of smoke was like earlier in the fire season in Northern Territory, when there were a few rippers, it's not uncommon to have people have to, get safe away from the blazes. They move fast, 40 to 60 kilometers in a few hours sometimes. We were seeing wildfires that would stretch across Northern Territory over the borders to Western Australia. And they would run another 70, 80 kilometers, at least. The only thing that, one thing that we should look at is drought. So still looking pretty much the same. Western Australia, half of it seeing drought, but not a lot of lightning that was associated with this storm Jasper. So the wildfires, thankfully, a lot of them were put out due to the pounding of rain that they took up there in the northern Queensland peninsula. Come back down here. I believe that would be the fire right there. I don't see the blaze yet. Yep. That's what's causing all the trouble. Let me highlight it just in case. Wildfire. Now we go back to true color to see its smoke. See that smoke? That's the kind of smoke that we were looking at. That's filling up the air in New South Wales. It is just lingers everywhere, just plumps up, goes in different directions, and the fire will go under the smoke. It will use it as protection, as keeps conditions a lot warmer, a lot more stale, causes a lot more decay and pestilence. Nothing thrives under smoke except for fire. That's it. Everything else suffocates under smoke. So the smoke is also important, as important as noting the wildfire, because we don't know where the smoke is really going, because we would normally have air quality stations that would let us know where's the air good. It would tell people, authority, like, oh, there must be a lot of smoke and wildfire activity. No, but as long as there's no air quality stations, there's no data, so that means there's no wildfire, there's no smoke. Is this for tourism? I don't get this failing. It is a massive failing. If there are air quality stations, they're not public facing. And that's still, like, there's a lot of tourism that goes on in Australia, so you don't want to mislead them into going out on a hike and suddenly they're out of breath because a big old puff of smoke is just starting to settle down into the rocky area. It's like after Canada this year in the Northeast, smoke that followed really changed the way I look at smoke as a structure. When it becomes a structure in the sky, it can really move around. And not only can it move around, it can take a whole lot of other smoke around with it. This is what we're seeing right here. This lingering smoke that was being put up into the atmosphere due to this wildfire here in New South Wales. The air's taking it one way, the fire's going one way, and the smoke's going the other way. There's a lot of smoke over some mid-range clouds, but it's going to, it just eats away at the clouds. The smoke bunches into the clouds, causes it to drop as precipitation, push it around, and just refract it so we're not seeing the clouds anymore. It looks like it's eating the clouds. Clouds are going to act as pressure changes. You know, this smoke changes a lot of things. That's why I call it a superstructure, because it really does absolutely mess with all local weather. Pushes out rain, pushes down rain, makes rain drop out of the clouds early. So like there was some times in the Northeast where there would be massive amount of clouds coming up over the eastern coast, just big storms, but it hits that wall of smoke and it shreds that weather cloud into pieces, and then you have 3 months of rain that drops overnight or just in a few hours. These are some of the conditions that you'll see when you have a giant structure of smoke that collides into weather. The smoke's always going to win because it has momentum on its side. It doesn't need to slow down. It doesn't need to speed up. It doesn't need to do anything. It's being pulled and pushed. You'll have half the smoke go out to sea, and as the fire still burns, you'll have all the smoke that's currently heading northwest over the Queensland territory, or Queensland boundary into New South Wales. Now, New South Wales has been largely fire-free since the beginning of the fire season in August for Australia, but it's really making up for it right now. This is a pretty big fire in a national forest down there. And we're seeing a lot of structure upon structure when it comes to all this smoke that's in the east side, the eastern coast. Smoke isn't a danger to anybody, but the smoke can come down in areas, in patches, and it can just really be a hassle for most people that need to breathe. It's just like, oh, he's sensitive to smoke. Everything is sensitive to smoke. Nothing survives in smoke. Nothing thrives in smoke except fire and smoke. Not getting some kind of insect that's taken hits of smoke, you know, before their big journey across the sea. It's nothing eats it, nothing feeds on it. It's just wildfire smoke. Just poison, especially if it hit mining community, especially it hit really anything when it came to industrial containments, mills, anything really. I'm not seeing seeing a lot of cloud patterns and such, but not anything down here. You can see this. This is joining up with the rest of these. That's all smoke. This is all smoke. understand this. Now this is hitting right here with the weather. It's causing a great deal of clash. I'm gonna see some really heavy precipitation drop. The smoke just takes the weather out at the knees. And the fire continues to burn in New South Wales. I know it's being worked. You can always tell when a fire is being worked when the columns of smoke is more stable. They were doing airdrops, anything of the sort. They couldn't do it overnight, so they would have to wait during the day. So there is a separation that might have been as a result of that. We'll see later if this fire is still burning or not. As this just absolutely smoldering. This is the same area that we were just looking at. It's see down here, some fire down here between these two roads, trail on a road. Very rough. 264 square kilometers. That's a huge bushfire. It's burning in this national forest. Hopefully the forest survives. They don't have to fell, you know, all the trees in it. Fire is devastating to any local ecology. Even if fire is a natural occurring element in nature, the fires that we see that are human caused are alien to these ecologies. And after one time one of these fires going through, that's it. The heat seals it in. It's a lot of panic, scattering, running around at all levels of life, especially water. You get a lot of water that needs to escape or get boiled. These wildfires boil away water and moisture. Heat drives away water and moisture. But when you have the air around, the ambient air temperature around in a wildfire, inside its firestorm, core of the storm, be over 700 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not just a fire that you're running around from, it's for combusting into flame. It is the obscene amount of water that just gets boiled away because of just the high temperatures that it reaches in the ambient, that it really can cause a lot of mass deaths in the forest, in the woods, in the water around the areas. And then all of that ash and soot and charcoal in the next rain finds its way washing into these lakes and rivers, causing more mass death, as it's just pestilence on the land feeding into the water. Let's see, what else do we have here for Australia? Yeah, that's 28 kilometers. Hmm. Huge growth. Huge growth on this fire. This is Western Australia, just after the Northern Territory border. You can say it's Eastern Western Australia. Let's go back up again. The active perimeter here, burns out, burns up. Just bam, one day. Now we're 1 kilometer from this, so it's a lot of fast-moving bushfire. It looks smoldering in areas. And it's heavy scorched earth. You can see the remnants of a wildfire that happened previously in the year right here along these dunes. Yeah, that's a massive snow. That's a massive wildfire here. You can see it smoke heading out north. This is quite northern. Starts here and moves way all the way to the coast with the wind. We're going to continue burning north and eat away and tighten up. Whoa. Oh, these are burning, and this is close. This is massive. Just over the last day or so, just this massive firestorm just appears with this heat wave of over 105 degrees. In Fahrenheit, it's looking like it's going to be a week to cook under the sun. So it's drought, it's desert. And then you have fire. Let's see how. Oh, that is right across from Broome. Yeah. This is Western Australia. See how this fire took hold. Really. Oh, there it is. You can see this active perimeter right here. And it's gone. It just goes. This low-lying fire, but speeds at which these fires are burning are pretty impressive. Let's see. That ran. Apologies. Dogs were barking. Have to check. Okay. That note, I think I'll call it here. We looked at Western Australia and Queensland, Australia. And I'm sure later on today it's going to be smoky as this thins out across New South Wales, stretching from the coastline to, you know, how much for a few hundred kilometers inland, but it's going to stretch all that smoke apart and it's going to flatten out, or it can be pulled down in just these clumps of smoke in these areas. Yeah. Alright, well, until next time, please take care. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It helps me out immensely.